Hello. Hi, everyone. Why did that disappear? Hey, it's back. Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me and that it's all working okay. The widgets are going crazy, but we shouldn't let that stop us. How's it going? It's December. We're going to talk about stuff. Hey, been places in November. I don't usually go to places. I've been playing games all over the country. Pretty much. Hey, Steve. Heroic Logic, James. Thanks for joining me. Yes, we're going to talk about a few things. I realised I need to get a text thing ready. Yeah, I'll quickly go through the stuff that happened in November. There's a load of videos and that for you to enjoy in case you missed any. And then, yeah, I could talk about the games that we've been playing as well. There's going to be the vote for December, which is going to be a very slimmed down vote. There are a lot of options in November. Basically, I have pretty much made my top 10 of the year that usually goes up at the end of the month. And there are some games I want to get played to kind of shore up that list. But, you know, I hope you want to see them as playthroughs. So we'll see how the vote goes. It's not going to have many options and you're only going to be able to vote for one thing. But yeah, we'll get into that later. And also, I don't know how good an idea this is because I've never tried something like this before. But I thought, as well as like doing my usual thing of talking about the things that I liked this year, and it's been really tough turning it down into 10. I always think like, oh, looking back in the year, there's been so many good games this year. I think there's been even more than usual this year. No matter what, like I tend not to poke my head up about stuff, but every now and then just see something that's just grousing about games in general, or this particular game or that particular game was so bad that everybody liked, and I'm not bothered. I really enjoyed it. I like playing games that I like. I don't try to play games that I don't think I will like in order to make a video about them. But anyway, yes, I thought it would be a cool idea if everyone that wants to can tell me in form what you enjoyed this year and what you would like, and we could do like a separate video. Let's see, or maybe we could just be part of the main top 10 video. I don't know. And we could see how differently we feel about stuff. I imagine fairly differently no matter what happens. But I'm going to just make a bit of text that can come up on the screen. I should paste it into the chat as well. Now I want to... Okay, that'll work. Just don't come up because that's an old one. Come on, let's change this text. I thought like, oh, I don't usually have links. What did I used to do? I used to put them up on screen. I'll put this in the description and stuff, and I should probably mention it elsewhere as well. It's gone up in the Patreon post when I said this thing was happening. But if you go to tinyurl.com/Marty2023, there's a little form there. I know it's the best way to do it. All you have to do is say your favourite game. You can put more in if you want to. And thanks, James. James has filled it in. I know James's favourite game. I'm not going to tell you, though. Well, feel free to tell everyone. Yeah, you can just put your favourite game in there if you want. You can put up to 10 in there if you want to. There's spaces for you to put reasons if you want, and we can like get into why you think that it's a good game rather than what I think about stuff. And yeah, you can put your name in if you want to be credited with those opinions should they get put in a video, but you don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is well, you don't have to do anything, but if you want to fill the form in, all you need to do is to put your number one game in. That's the only requirement of the form. Everything else is an optional extra. Hey Paul, how's it going? Chilly Portland. It's pretty chilly in here, actually. I'll be turning the heating on when I go downstairs after this. I've just been editing and filming stuff today. And it's never really that chill, although it's usually too hot to have anything on in this room. Well, not anything, but like any kind of cardigan or jumper or anything. And it's been a bit kind of extra chilly today. Like we were out and about on Saturday when it was like -5, just like in the daytime. That's winter for you. I don't want to complain about it because I love this a lot more than I do summer and being too hot. Of course, you've been playing Evenfall. I haven't played that. I saw it at GridCon. It looked pretty cool. Love Apiary though. Hey, wait, Jen, how's it going? Right, so what am I getting into? Yes, there's that. You can fill in your options on there. I think there is. I could turn it off if it's a problem for people. There's like a one response per person thing where you have to sign in to fill it in, but you don't have to say who you are if you don't want to do that. I don't know if I needed to turn that on. Let's have a look at November then. Maybe this video will come to nothing, but I like the idea of doing it. So, things that happened in November. There was a great big playthrough of Mansions of Madness, continuing on from Halloween. That concluded a big two-part thing of Dark Reflections. Let's see if I remember the shortcut to do this. I do! Kalamala returned on Kickstarter, this time from Alley Cat Games, and it brought with it a two-player mode. So I've played through some cloth making in Kalamala, just me and Little Glass Marty. I did a separate little overview video for just what was new in the expansion that is new to the new Kickstarter. Some insert videos as well. It's been a bit of a while, hasn't it? Are you still seeing me? Something seems to have frozen with my... Oh, that preview's from ages ago. I'm typing in letters. That happened a long time ago. So yeah, there were videos for the Laserox Oats 1 insert, which is like a little bit organised in general. But yeah, Laserox do beautiful wooden things. Look at that skull and stuff. Which makes me think as well, it's been ages since I've played Oathsworn. We only got a few chapters into it because I was trying to paint it and stuff. I really, really want to play some more Oathsworn because I was loving it last year. It was one of my favourite games of last year. What's next? Oh yeah, Cthulhu Death May Die. Kind of doing like the Halloween options that I could fit in. The first scenario of that with Cthulhu is the great old one. Got introduced to it, well, kind of got it because it won the Halloween vote, I think, or did very well in it. It did well in something, but yeah, very, very glad that I was convinced to because I love it and I want to play some more of it. It's true of pretty much everything though. I'd like to play some more of it all. The White Castle, lovely, kind of fast playing, not like it's still thinky, dice placement game. Solo mode, not been so keen on. I think, like, especially like with two players it would be better, but also I really like the idea that so you place dice on spaces, and if your number's higher than the space says, you get money. If it's lower, you pay money. But in higher player counts, 3 or 4 players, you can place your dice on top of other players' dice, so the first player to place there affects the number for everybody else as well. Like if they were desperate to go somewhere and they went with a low number, they've made it cheaper for someone else to go there and suddenly maybe more attractive. I like the kind of dynamic of that. I don't think I'll play it like that, but I did a solo playthrough live on air. Final Girl was originally, did like a bit of a Patreon stream where I did Final Girl for Halloween against Dr. Fright, and I edited it down and you can see that now. Right, another insert one. It's kind of an insert system. If my background thing was on, you'd be seeing all the massive darkness boxes over here. Came in a million, like, even if you're not interested in Massive Darkness, look how many boxes it came in at the start of that video. Comes in a million boxes, and there is zero organisation in this game. There is, like, lovely, you know, if you get a game with minis, it's got lovely clear plastic trays that keep the minis nice. But other than that, cards, tokens, everything else that comes with Massive Darkness 2, you are left to your own devices to organise that across a million. It sounds like I'm doing like, I think I say this in the video, like, whenever I start reeling up about stuff, it sounds like I'm doing some kind of infomercial about it. It's lovely, and one of the things I like the most, it makes like boxes to put the minis in that are padded with foam and stuff, because they're all painted and stuff. But this card tray, you see like all of the little rivets and things at the side. You can, so this is the cards that you will need while you are playing. You can lift it and it's got magnets that make it stay up and stuff and all. Oh, I'm so excited, more excited than a person should be about the mechanics of that. But oh, it is so beautiful. It's the first thing I've ever seen from Fancy But Functional, the first thing that I've had. Also make lovely kind of expanding Kallax cube things for, I think they do one for Cthulhu Death May Die actually, and Mansions of Madness. I haven't got them, but yeah, some beautiful stuff you might expect from a company with that kind of name. On back to Halloweeny things. Well, actually, for might have been talking about this last time. For my birthday, when we had gaming, I thought I can exert some will over what we play tonight. I really wanted to play Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. And then the next day, actually, I think when it was actually my birthday, what did I want to play? I kind of wanted to play some more Arkham Horror, and we did play some more that month, actually. So yeah, although I wasn't intended to do one, I got very excited and did a big, I think it's a 2-part playthrough of Arkham Horror 2nd Edition again, but this time with an expansion with the King in Yellow. You know, there's a crazy play being put on in Arkham, and it's going to end the game early for us if we let them get through with that play. I think it's great. I love that picture as well. It's from the cover. Tales from the Red Dragon Inn. That's still ongoing, actually. I've been editing part 4 today. So this is a dungeon crawly self-enclosed. Is that what I mean? It's a big dungeon crawl game, but it's kind of it introduces the game through a walkthrough, building up through scenarios, unlocking cards, unlocking abilities, unlocking all of this cool stuff. And, as you might expect, lots of different abilities, lots of different characters that do play very differently, lots of different enemy types that are defined by the scenario you're playing. The characters are minis, the enemies are all standees. So, even if you really want to paint stuff, you're only going to paint I think it's 8 minis for the heroes and their minions. But there's a little robot for if you're playing solo. I think it really, the key to it is it's got a bit of a sense of humor through its story and stuff. We are heroes, and in the first scenario, I don't think it's a spoiler to say, the training room in the basement of the Red Dragon Inn goes haywire, and we need to go and sort it out. And from that develops a story where we need to go and be heroic, but we are seasoned heroes. We are not bad at this. You don't miss shots and stuff. You don't roll to hit. You always hit. Just how much damage you do changes through dice rolls. And yeah, everything builds up very nicely. Probably the whole first chapter is kind of a tutorial. The first scenario especially so. It's very limited to what you have and what you can do, but it's introducing bits to you. So if you're really seasoned with dungeon crawl games, it might seem a bit simple at first, but I think it's got a nice sense of humor in the story that it's telling and the way that it's written, but also it's got a big emphasis on doing cool things. Not necessarily that you're all overpowered, although it is easy going on. There's difficulty levels from the second scenario onwards, but yeah, everyone throughout a scenario, it feels like you get a chance to have some really cool moments where you feel like you really had an impact on the game, and that's to do with the actions and the way they interact and stuff. I absolutely love this game. I would be shocked if this doesn't end up in the top 10 of the year, because I think it's absolutely fantastic, and there's so much in it. There's 25 scenarios. I have done chapter 1, which is 4 scenarios. So I'm kind of getting in the way of Tales Tuesdays by doing this stream, but it's been slightly nudged to tomorrow, and the 4th one will go up on Patreon tomorrow as well. So I've done 4 of them. I would like to do more in the future. I don't know. I'm not doing them right away, but yeah, I'd like to carry on just so I can play some more myself. But I know doing loads of episodes or something, yeah, it might get a bit much. But yes, scenario 1 and 2 are up now, and 3 will go up tomorrow. Just like that. Legacy of You, continuing that, trying to keep it to once a month. We've had 4 games now. I don't want to spoil what happened, but what's the most a campaign can be? Is it 13? Because it's as soon as you get to 7 wins or 7 losses, right, that the campaign ends. So who knows how many episodes that could be. But yeah, a lot of tough things have been building up in the first 3 scenarios. And we'll see how we handle them in the 4th one. I really want to do another Legacy of You, actually. I want to shake things up and do different things all of the time. But I really want to carry on that campaign and see how we end up with it. Oh yes, so that is the videos of November. So I realised that loads of other stuff. It's already December, so it's not time to mention them. So I'll get on to some of the things that we've been doing and playing. Hey Jay. Hey Mr. P, how's it going? Oh, you just signed up for Patreon. Oh, thanks so much, Jay. Why isn't that? Oh, your name has appeared. I didn't see that change, probably because I'm staring at these thumbnails over here. Oh, thanks so much, Jay. It's not changed in my list here that's supposed to change, but I'm glad that you're on the screen right now. Thank you so much. So I can do it. Oh, yeah, I've not said anything about it. Thanks, James, for putting the Patreon in the chat as well. Forget everything, don't I? Hey, you can support the channel on patreon.com/slickerdrips or Ko-fi if you would like to help me do this. It's pretty much all funded by Patreon. All of those things that I just said. Kalamala was a paid video for the Patreon, the playthrough. paid video for the Patreon, paid video for the Kickstarter. They don't tend to fund games through Patreon yet. But yeah, all the other things that I said, all happened because Patreon. And because the people donated to Patreon, and Patreon existed. Hey, Mr. P. Hey, Matt. It's good. Legacy of You, one of your favourite solo games this year. It's one of my favourite games of the year. I feel like in terms of solo-only games, it's so good, but just in general, absolutely fantastic. So, what did we do? I've got things to say that we went to. So first of all, we went to GridCon, which seems like ages ago now. I suppose it was. It was only a few weeks ago. It was like on the 17th of November. Feels like it was months ago. But yeah, we went all the way down to Taunton for Paul Grogan of Gaming Rules. He does a convention every year, and we have been to almost all of them. Number 1, number 3, and this time number 4. And we played a load of stuff, actually. Like, a lot of the things took a long time, so it might not seem like as many things. But yeah, I really feel like we got into it more this year and got a chance to do more stuff, partially because of signing up to stuff and taking stuff that I wanted to play as well. So we had a big epic multiplayer game of Arkham Horror, the card game, and one that was completely new to both of us as well, War of the Outer Gods. Really enjoyed that. We played the time traveling one last year, and really like there's like factions of cultists fighting each other. They'll fight you if you get in the way, but they are trying to kill each other, and that will put doom on their agenda, and whoever advances affects the story. It was really cool, and I was playing. That's Rachel's picture. I always forget to take pictures of everything. Rach has to be relied on to record that things happened. Rachel was Joe Diamond because she loves Joe Diamond. I was someone new that I was Father Mateo. It was fun being a character that didn't really do a whole bunch of no fighting, not much investigating. My whole thing was just about let's put as many blessings into the bag as possible and try and take the bad things out of the bag, and if you fail a check, hey, I've got something that can help you with that. It was cool being like a proper full-on support character for a change. That's some more stuff that happened. Then we had arranged, actually, Neil's name's gone off there. Neil had commented on, I think, the playthrough or maybe the top 10 horror games where I was going on and on about Arkham Horror. Hey, I'm going to be at GridCon as well. We should play a game together. And we did end up having a big 5-player game as well. Like, thanks so much for playing with us as well, everyone that did. We had a big... what was I doing? It was the Lurker at the Threshold expansion, which changes like some of the gates and stuff. The gates walk around, and you can make pacts with the Lurker to help you... succeed at casting spells, or you can just make pacts in general, and you can build up power that you can exchange for money or successes at things or clues, but eventually you have to turn over these kind of like revelation cards, and sometimes all the people that took pacts get good things, and rich keep getting richer and all this, but eventually it's like, if you took a pact, hey, you're dead now. It's a really cool like little element of risk. And we also played with Dunwich Horror, so you get like a little extra board, you can see it at the end of that picture there, that you have to deal with stuff in. Dunwich didn't really actually affect us that much, but it was still a tense, fun game. And yeah, I forgot that my boxes didn't have standees in them, and I didn't bring the minis because I didn't think I'd need them because we've got standees, so we had to play with minis from another game. Can you see which game they're from? Yeah, that's another thing as well. Legacy of You is just like, it's all in that beautiful insert already, isn't it? All the bits are divided up for you. It's a few little shuffles, and you're good to go. And it's like similar to Hadrian's Wall as well. It's great for me as well to like. I want to play it anyway, but we can just get right into a stream of it as well. I don't have to like remember. Oh, when's the last time I played that? Even if it was a couple of months ago, I remember most of the stuff. I think, as long as I'm getting it right, I think I am. Hey, honey lady, how's it going? It's teaching you Rolling Realms and Petrichor Solo. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you learned them well off me. I hope I got them right. I noticed actually I know Rolling Realms has got loads of extra little expansion packs now that I would like to get at some point. It's a brilliant roll and write game. But one of the, I don't know if it's a more recent one, I hadn't seen it before. One of the games they've done like a booster pack for is Can't Stop. So I'd really like to see how that works, because Can't Stop is one of our all-time favourite filler kind of games. What else were we doing? Here's some more. Hey, there you can see Arkham in its entirety. We played Pandemic the Cure that we haven't played for ages and ages. And I don't think that we'd ever played with the expansion before. I got it at some point. So we're playing with the new roles. We're playing with the mutated purple disease. It's such a good version of Pandemic. Such a good dice game as well. It is so, so good. It's good to like reaffirm these things after like however many years that it's been. Like, oh yeah, that was actually fantastic. We're looking at it with rose-tinted glasses. And Apiary as well. We played our first game of Apiary. We learned it in the bar while we were waiting for our food to come. Food wasn't great. That's the only criticism I would have of GradeCon. Didn't try any hotel food last time because it was a bit... I think they ran out of stuff. Tried it this time. I love pizza. It's one of my favourite things. I don't really like that many foods. But yeah, I've never had a pizza that didn't taste of anything. But aside from that, we played Apiary for the first time. It's a lovely mix of loads of things from games that I like. Most of all, worker bumping. So like a dice placement game where you work as a bees in this with space bees, and you are there's a playthrough of this that's just gone up actually. But yeah, the spaces are never blocked off. You can always go to a worker placement source, but you are giving other players their workers back, and they level up, so they're even more powerful now, and they don't have to waste turns retrieving stuff. It's such a fantastic, positive interaction thing. And yeah, I'm not bothered about... I've never really criticised a game for being multiplayer solitaire. I like things like that. I'd rather it was like that. But yeah, if we're going to have to get interactive, let it be in cool, positive ways like this, where, you know, I want to do something, but it's going to benefit you as well. Like cards that are like, you get 3 of something, but you've got to give everybody else 1 of something. You know, everybody else benefits a little bit. So is the thing worth you giving other people resources, actions, things like that? Yeah, just wish there was more of that generally. And what else? Oh yeah, the next day we played a big game of Fortune and Glory against the Order of the Crimson Hand for the first time, who gets more powerful as they start to steal relics, but they didn't really get any relics. Now, I don't think Apiary is multiplayer solitaire because it's got lovely positive interaction. I'm saying, like, in general, I'm not bothered when games are multiplayer solitaire. I think that's fine, but like, if we have to have interaction, let it be things like worker bumping in Apiary, where we can have an effect on each other. Do you want another person to benefit? Is the thing you're doing worth giving people potentially free actions, or maybe they needed their B to be 1 level higher to get a particular bonus or do a particular thing? Like, it still makes really cool, tense, interactive decisions, but it's good stuff rather than... I take this away from you, I destroy this, I fight you. Not into that. I will never be into that kind of stuff. Yeah, Fortune and Glory, still fantastic. Haven't played it for a few months now, probably since I did the playthrough actually. But such a good, silly Indiana Jones dice chucky fest. And I think, oh yeah, it came down right down to the wire as well. We were, like, I think the baddies were about 10 away from victory on their, like, track, and we were about... Rach had so much stuff to sell for a load of fortune that was like, oh, we are gonna win this. And then in the last enemy turn at the very end of the game, you got to survive till the end of the round. Just the one combination of cards that gave the enemies a load of actions that beat us, but it was worth coming within like 1 point of winning. And I think... Oh yeah, one thing that wasn't pictures, we also had a game of Dead Men Tell No Tales, which is a fantastic co-op from Kane Klenko, Fuse's Kane Klenko, and having played that for years and years as well, you know, trying to rob treasure off a burning shipwreck that is exploding and new fires are springing up everywhere. You've got to put the fires out and stuff and try and fight the skeleton pirates to get as much treasure as you can before it all sinks. We didn't do that well, but it was really fun going back to that as well. And another thing that we went to is Arkham Knights. So we went to Fanboy 3 in Manchester with a couple of friends, and we were one of the groups that played the blob that ate everything in Arkham Horror the card game, which we did play last year for Arkham Knights actually, but it was this year you got a cool little purple bag and stuff for your it's keying it out. You got a cool purple bag for your chaos tokens and some dials for your investigating stuff. But yeah, it was really well organised by Mary, I think. Thank you for organising all of that. It was dead fun. We'd go to another one at Fanboy 3, I think. Probably wouldn't go around Manchester as much. But hey, the board gaming part, I loved that. And yeah, again, I tried. We kept the same decks that we did in War of the Outer Gods. Didn't go quite as perfectly, but yeah, the blob's eating everything. The blob didn't eat the lights or anything. Another thing, so one thing that can happen in this is one of the encounter cards is you need to roll on this chart basically to see what the blob eats, and he can eat just cards in your hand, cards that you have out, that kind of normal stuff, eat a resource, that kind of thing. But he can also eat your discard pile. No one has discard piles for a round, and everything you would discard is eaten instead. Can discard your identity, so your investigator box is treated as blank for this turn. Can steal more abstract things, can steal your voice, so you can't speak for a round or so. Can steal the lights, so you have to turn the lights off. Or your phone, so you have to put your phone away. Yeah, it can eat your house. So, the your house card that's from the very first core box you have to put underneath the blob. All of the kind of cool conceptual things, they are kind of unlikely to happen. They didn't happen again. They didn't happen when we tried it last time, but we did manage down to the wire with minutes left. We managed to defeat the blob. It's a really fun scenario, and that's all of the stuff that I'm meant to be going on about. Every time it's a space bee, it's perfect, and what a good, what a cool, strangely attractive theme for a game as well. I read in one of the designer diaries that it was just a straight up bee game, but these bees were kind of really advanced bees for some of the things that we're doing. Loads of it's based around what bees actually do. So it kind of became, oh well, let's just let them be advanced bees then. They can be space bees. It's really cool. They have free spots that require, oh yeah, the worker placement spots that have 2 spaces for bees, but their powers, their strength are summed for how powerful the action is. Then sometimes you need particular values to move the big queen bee spaceship around or to get a certain tile. Yeah, there's really, really cool stuff going on. So yes, that is November stuff. December, let's say this is going to be a bit of a different vote, because this is kind of stuff I desperately want to get played around trying to film things, to see if it's going to be in the top 10 of the year, and because I'm really excited, I really want to play all of these things. One of them isn't, and I feel like I've done it a disservice by putting it up against other stuff. This is that if you came a bit late, by the way, we're going to do a people's top 10, your top 10 alongside my top 10 of 2023. If you would like to have your say and tell me what your favourite games were of this year, there's a form you can go to there. Right, let's make this browser come up. Okay, that's changed shape, but we'll roll with it. The first option, it can go a bit down actually, and not get covered up by that text. There we go. It's worked out. So the first option, and actually one designer's getting 2 things on this very small vote. So yeah, there's only going to be a few options, and I'm thinking usually it's vote for as many things as you like. I'm wondering whether to make it just one vote. You've got to just pick one of the things to do. I would love to get them all done, but I really doubt that there is time to film them all and get them all finished, but we'll see. So Voidfall, the great big Mind Clash, David Torcy, Nigel Buckle, kind of thematically, it's like a 4X game. I don't know that it is, but it's like a 4X that you can enjoy if you were really into heavy Euro games. Kind of prepared from David's other mind-bending things, but also with Nigel, the kind of similarly mind-bending Imperium and its various civilizations and combinations. You know, some of the high complexity ones of that were pretty heavy. I mean, there is an intimidating weight number there. I hear that like there is a million icons and complicated things going on, but it is incredibly well taught, and once you go through a game, it will click. That's what I hear. And oh yeah, the other thing I should say about this vote, I think on Thursday or Friday we're gonna have maybe like it might just be a Patreon stream, but whatever you pick, that will be the thing that I learn or stream, probably learn though, on Thursday or Friday. So Voidfall, we can go through that experience together. I know that like there's competitive elements to it, but it's solo, but also the co-op mode. Like this is another thing as well that David Tutsu was at GridCon. I was like, when you learn Voidfall. So here we go. It is here, David. It will get played, but will it get played next? Very close. You didn't have too much trouble learning it. The weight seems a little high. I mean, that's pretty high as weights go. What's on Mars? I know there are heavier games. On Mars is 4.6. Okay, so not quite as heavy as on Mars. What's I can't remember the railway game that I played, the 18XX game. I'm not going to be able to search for it by typing 18 in the search bar, is it? Because there's a billion. Never mind just games that start with the number 18 that aren't a year. So that's probably the heaviest game I've had. I feel like. I don't know. It's a very high number though, isn't it? But hey, I've played heavy games before. I can do it. But yeah, you are expanding your technologies and expanding your influence throughout the galaxy and stuff. It looks very beautiful, as anything Mind Clash will. And anything Ian O'Toole will. But yeah, just excited from the pedigree as well. Carrying on from... 1862. Thanks, Steve. 1862. Eastern Counties. What weight was that? 4.62. Wasn't that on Mars's? Okay. Maybe we do a 5 one day. No, I don't want to do a 5. I'm happy with that being the ceiling of... I can learn it and enjoy it, but probably too heavy for me. Maybe Voidfall being a bit lower than that. Although a bit lower, 0.04 lower in weights than those. What else is? What's like Weather Machine? I'm not thinking that that's like an incredibly heavy game, but 4.59. It's not as heavy as Weather Machine. I didn't find Weather Machine a problem to learn at all. Hey, and Voidfall is not as heavy as Weather Machine. Fact. So yeah, that's one of the options anyway. I'm going off on a tangent. Next, just missed out on, well, it's November's fault really, because time ran out. Nucleum is another of David Tortzi's big, heavy Euro games. Not as heavy, just a 4 out of 5. This time with Simone Luciani, making nuclear power and stuff. There's trains and things involved, all sorts of cool stuff. And again, like graphic design and component stuff, it looks really cool. Yeah, another lovely, complex, interlinking thing from David and Simone, who, Simone in his own right with various partnerships, has come up with a billion great things. Marty is enjoying his nice warm bed downstairs. Hey, Streambot is doing real good work today. Marty was in here, actually, while I was editing earlier, and annoyed that he wasn't getting the fuss that he required, but he'd had a lot of fuss previously, and I think he's stormed off downstairs for the day. He was like a little extra thing that we did. Rach and I wanted to play kind of off the back of our standalone things, and we hadn't played Arkham Horror the card game probably since we finished our 4-player game of Scarlet Keys in, say, February, so it's been a long time. There's a lot of other stuff to play. So yeah, we're kind of geared up and ready for a session. So we wanted to play Pat Carcosa, just generally, and Rach suggested, why don't we film it? So there's some of that coming up. I don't know at what point that will go up, but that's a little extra thing that has happened that will be coming up at some point. And you can get shirts and mugs from sirmeeple.com. I wish I should have had my Marty mug right now. Hey Rory, how's it going? How's it going in Boston? I've never been to Boston. Rach is from Boston. Probably not that Boston. Which Boston? I would assume, if somebody says they're from Boston, I would assume it's Massachusetts, right? Rach is from the English one. Why can't I press the right button to make this change? Massachusetts. Which isn't from that one. But hey. You're watching Cheers right now. That's related, right? That's what the city's like, isn't it? You're also watching Frasier as well, like New Frasier, which is also in Boston. So we pretty much know all about it, right? Next up is Earthborn Rangers, which has been... I was excited to play it anyway, but it has been specially requested and kind of requested and... I don't know, like... evangelized about at a time when a shop had a damaged copy in stock. So the fates aligned. I've got it. It came earlier, actually. It's just arrived. I haven't even opened it yet. This is a deck building game where you're a character going off on a journey, but not necessarily a big, you need to save the world and you're the only hero that can do it kind of journey. Maybe more like the Lands of Galzia kind of story, where there will be things happening, there will be quests, things people need doing, but yeah, not necessarily these world-bending things. There is a big narrative campaign going on, and you make your choices. Your deck represents the traits and the choices your character will make. But yeah, you're just telling a story of what your character is going through. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And yeah, like I said, I haven't played it yet because it literally just arrived. But they are the things that I'm really desperate to play as the year is ending. And then something else that I feel like I'm doing this a bit of a disservice, and maybe I should have saved it for another vote, but it arrived like a couple of weeks ago. So it hasn't had a chance to be in a vote yet. Maybe it'll be in a vote again on January to be a bit fairer, because these are kind of the bigger things of the year, or some of them. I've done a lot of the big things of the year when all the Essen stuff happened, and before that. I might have started playing it. Are you enjoying it? Have you been going off on some good adventures so far? From what little I've... Like, I read all about it and stuff when it was on Kickstarter, but yeah, I think the few things that I've read since... I haven't watched Drive-Thru Review or anything about it. The few things that I've read since have been kind of like... I think people that would have the same problem with Lands of Galzia, that they want like some kind of heroic journey, and it's not that. It can be a bit, not necessarily slice of life, but yeah, you are a person like getting at one with nature and doing cool, nice things, rather than potentially saving the universe kind of things. But talking about saving the universe, the last game that I have just gotten is Skyrim, the great big adventure game. It's in an enormous box. I loved Skyrim, but I realised that is a long time ago now. I don't want to look up when it came out, because it's probably forever ago. And that's the last time I played the video game, so I've probably forgotten a billion things. But it's kind of, story-wise, it's like a prequel, right? Or it's just like, it's set, the Blades were part of like Skyrim, and it's just a go off on a big adventure narrative kind of game, which I am up for. It looks lovely, it looks very Skyrim, and yeah, I never read anything about it at the time. I was surprised to learn that it was a 2022 game, because I felt like it was fairly recent that I saw it cropping up everywhere, but clearly it wasn't. So those are going to be the 4 options, and we are going to see, like, the winning one is, we're going to get right into it, and it's going to be in a stream either Thursday or Friday, depending on how successfully I film something tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, see how much time it takes me. Still trying to get the hang of Earthborn Rangers. A couple more sessions to see it unfold. Keeps making you want to play more Arkham LCG. Oh, that's still a good thing, even if that's the outcome of it. Yeah, I'm enjoying, like, because I have played a fair bit of Arkham, but through the vastness of all of the campaigns that are out at this point, and all of the characters and crazy cards and combos and things, like we made new people in the thing that me and Rach did. I am playing something on my own now that the character I've never played, with cards that I've never seen before that seem like incredibly powerful. Yeah, just really like these combos emerging and things. I'm playing I played Skyrim on the 360 at the time because I didn't have a PC that could play video games well, at least. Probably couldn't have played Skyrim at the time. But I played it tons and tons and tons. It's the one that, like, I liked all of the Bethesda. Well, I liked Fallout 3. This is the first one that I ever played. Fallout New Vegas. It's fantastic. And I enjoyed 4, bits of 4. But yeah, that's the kind of introduction I had to, the post-Fallout Elder Scrolls Skyrim is the one that I played and played tons. As my friends were into it earlier and had played Oblivion, which I had not played at the time. And so I tried to play it afterwards and wasn't so keen. I was like, I wish that I'd kind of seen that at the time and got into it more because people rave about it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what kinds of stories that it tells. Ghazi is really cool, but you need to go back and make a new character. It's definitely like a cross between Lands of Galzir and Arkham Horror. That's a pretty cool combo for me. Because yeah, aside from like the story stuff and I do really like the campaigny stuff and the actual kind of structure of the games. I love the decks of Arkham Horror. It's just that I am never going to have the kind of knowledge or the inclination. Everyone can find their time for something, but I'm never going to study all of this stuff and be able to come up with these cool decks. I don't think, but I love that there is a website that can show me people's ideas, that you can still upgrade it in different ways and do your own thing once you've like got a concept. But yeah, I really like that element of it. But a game where, so you start with, right in thinking Earthborn Rangers, you start with some kind of starting thing and it evolves as you play the game, rather than you don't have to like pre-make decks and things, do you? Same for Marvel Champions as well. I wonder if like it's initially partly because of having no content at the time, but as it turns out, the decks that came with Marvel Champions, I don't think work that great. They probably do now, but like the really old ones, much later, getting it back again and playing from I can't remember, is it whatever the Marvel Champions DB equivalent is of it. There's a similar website. Playing decks on that, there's such cool stuff that you can do. You can feel really overpowered or well matched and get to do cool things for a change. Rory got hooked on Scholars of the South Tigris. It's a great game. Oh, it's so fantastic. Oh yeah, is the Kickstarter like arriving at this point as well? I think like it's just fulfilling, right? Oh, and I'm looking forward to. I need to check that. Is it Sunday? Garfield going to be announcing loads of cool stuff, loads of cool new stuff, or kind of going into more details about upcoming games they've got in the historical series, the new South Tigris game that's going to be coming. Inventors, right? Really excited. I hope to be covering them when they come out as well, when they go on Kickstarter. Fingers crossed. Beautiful. The card design is lovely, but if you're playing solo, you need a way to go through the discovery decks. Oh, you've got choices to make a deck to begin with. It shouldn't be too... Like, if I was into it and doing stuff like when Arkham had come out, I'd probably be into it more and better at it. But trying to get in at this point when there's like a million expansions... Christmas in... Hey, Michael. Christmas and your birthday coming out, banned from buying for a while. Yeah, I need to... I'm pretty much on a buy-in ban. Pretty much. I'm trying to stick to it. I've been largely good about it. It's your birthday near Christmas as well, Michael. I'm not saying that mine is. Rachel's is. Rachel's only a few days before, so it kind of rolls in, doesn't it? We're going for a nice meal and stuff. Looking forward to that. It's not going to be long as well. It's the 5th of December already. How's that happened? I was trying to think of so we've got, Hexplore It will be coming up on Sunday, the second part, the final part of the Hexplore It playthrough. And then I'm not quite sure what's going to be coming up next week, what will be on Patreon this week. But after that, it'll be the 10th, won't it, when Hexplore It Part 2 goes up. The 17th will have something. Then, the Sunday after that is the 24th, so that's the date traditionally, and traditions must be kept, right? That's the date traditionally that I put the top 10 of the year up. And then the week after that, I was thinking it might be like an anticipated top 10, although I think I'd do that later in January. It might be the people's top 10 if we don't roll them all into one video. So I think top 10-ish and stuff is going to get in the way of Story Sundays for a bit. But I've been pretty good about, since April, when Story Sundays have started, only one has been missed when we came back off our honeymoon. Other than that, there's been a new story thing every Sunday. And generally, there's been, I think, 3 things a week. Even when, I've been trying to say, I'm trying to cut down and spend more time on stuff. I think I am getting to spend more time on stuff. But things haven't quite cut down yet. And then looking at the calendar for this week, there's a lot happening this week, isn't there? Oh yeah, Cartographers is going up on Friday. Cartographers Map Pack 2 playthrough is coming up on Friday. So yeah, and there'll be a live stream. I will post about it on Patreon when it is clear what the game is. But yeah, we'll do something new. Hey Monica, how's it going? I think Unmatched Tales to Amaze I'm interested in. Because the normal Unmatched game is just a fight in between each other game, right? I'm not interested in that kind of thing. But being able to use characters from all of those things in a cooperative game does sound really enticing. And Ark Nova Marine Worlds would be cool as well. What am I getting? I know there's the... What is it that I'm getting? I got... I don't know, a big thing that I'm getting. I know that a couple of little things. I got one... The only thing I bought from the Bring and Buy at GridCon was Pauper's Ladder that I did see at the UK Games Expo and looked pretty cool. I kind of adventuring around the world, but you are telling the story of you, a pauper, trying to make it in the big wide world. I got that at the Bring and Buy, and then stuck for, I don't know what to get at Christmas. So that it's got a new expansion and an old expansion. I know I'm getting them. But other than that, it's up to Santa really, isn't it? Who knows? Trying to get on his good side with wearing his gear, wearing his merch. But we'll see what happens. Getting the Fox Expo. Is that fulfilling soon? I know that daily, these will have to be things in the January vote at this point, but I think Daily Magic things are shipping now. So that'll be was that for Castellans of Valeria? Or is that too soon for that? Will it be, is it Guild or is it the previous one? Yeah, that's fulfilling. I got an email about something else as well. It seems like a load of stuff there's the time for me to do all of these things, but it'll be exciting for January, won't it? There's so much stuff that's this always happens, but there's so much stuff that's built up that I'm desperate to play. I'm really excited. I've never played one before, but I've got the Resident Evil board game. I've not played 2 or 3, because I'm not really that bothered about the video games either. But yeah, the first one, the Mansion Resident Evil, is the one that I remember a lot. So the board game version of that, I would like to get some paint on it. I have been doing a thing as well. I feel off and on, it's been requested, or I've mentioned things to do with painting I think live stream is generally the thing that's been requested the most, but I did try a week or so ago. I did try setting up all of the cameras and stuff to do some painting with. So I've ended up with like a recorded video. I need to post that somewhere actually. Just see like, I'll put it on Discord or Patreon or something. So like, is this worth doing? It's just kind of me rambling while I'm painting, all cut down. So I have done something for that. So I know that it's kind of possible. I just don't know when. There's probably not going to be time to do any of it this month because it's kind of it takes up a room as well, putting all of the stuff everywhere. But one thing, I don't want to commit to this, with Voidfall, Minecraft did send me I haven't got the Uber Galactic box, but I have got the box with miniatures in, which kind of as if I haven't got enough to paint, but they look pretty nice. They'd look a lot nicer painted. Something tempted. Maybe we could do that. It would be like a lot of similar things, I suppose, painting ships and that. But that's an option. There's Resident Evil things. There's always Shadows of Brimstone things. But yeah, maybe we'll do some painting stuff at some point. Just trying to let you know that I haven't forgotten and progress has been made. Like I've seen that it's feasible. I just tend to like it's hard not just kind of staring into space, trying not to mess up painting because I'm not that good at it. But yeah, I think we've got some kind of words happened. It got edited down into some kind of a video, so we'll see how that goes. Fix many Destiny's miniatures for a friend of yours to paint. Oh yeah, they're tiny. Like I haven't painted. I've got the Final Girl Season 1 minis. They are pretty tiny as well. I don't think I've had to paint anything that's really. I suppose the Pookie the rabbit from Tales from the Red Dragon Inn is pretty small. No, nothing compared to the Destiny's minis. Have you seen that? I can't remember what it's called because I'm not really bothered about Warhammer. But they've released like a new epic 40k Warhammer game where so it's like on big scale battles, but the normal kind of Space Marine minis are shrunk to a quarter size to go for this large scale thing. I saw some pictures of the released set and how tiny these little figures are that you need to paint. I don't think I'd be able to do that. Part of my painting thing is like I do find it difficult to keep my hands straight. Shaky hands. I've not backed that many. I was looking actually for kind of preempting when I do a anticipated 2023. No, that's this year. Anticipated 2024. I should do something at some point where you're like looking back at like a top 10 of the year or the anticipated of the year and see, did I get those things? Did they come out? Did I enjoy them? What is there? So I get my list open. Oh yeah, Mythwind. Really excited by that's another thing that's like, it's not necessarily huge stake stuff, but all the players play different parts of playing a kind of different kind of game, whether it's like a roll and write or a tile laying game. Each of the roles have a different game to play and you all affect each other. Freedom 5, which I think has repeatedly been on anticipated list because it's been delayed massively, but I'm not bothered. There's so much to play in the meantime. That's in the universe of Sentinels of the Multiverse, a big save the city, do encounters, defeat the big bad thing designed by Richard Launius of, among many things he's designed, co-designer of Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. Leviathan Wilds, that I did a video about this year, kind of Shadow of the Colossus-esque, trying to rescue these Leviathans. And things that I haven't backed, like Slay the Spire. I don't know how well it'll work as a board game, but I have sunk so many hours into the video game of it. Like it came out at some point. I realised a few months ago it came out for Apple Arcade, which I've got. Not that I use it that much. It's just kind of included in stuff. But yeah, you get it for free with Apple Arcade. So that's another device I've got it on. And it's a device that's always with me. So there was like a month or so where I was obsessed with that again, which I loved, but it's good to snap out and have a load of time back from all of that. I think that's all. Oh yeah, the gig is a musical themed. Is it a roll and write game? Am I remembering that wrong? I backed that, and that's another thing that got delayed a lot, but it's coming now. Sleeping Gods Distant Skies, I think, is fulfilling for people. I was in a group pledge for that, and I haven't heard anything about it, so I think they usually get fulfilled last. I would love to be playing that, but probably with the kind of overflowing pile of stuff that I need to do, probably good that that hasn't arrived just yet. Vagrant Song Encore. I suppose I said that there wasn't much stuff. I haven't backed all of that this year, though. Some of this stuff is been quite a while ago now. Yeah, Vagrant Song expansion. I'm looking forward to too. Tiny Epic Cthulhu shipping as a drag. Oh yeah, I think with loads of things now. It's getting so expensive. Like, aside from Kickstarter and anything, just trying to send anything is so much money, especially if things are getting sent internationally. Like, surely. Well, I say things need to change, but they're not going to, are they? I think companies in general, worldwide, have realised, why not just put everything up and just keep putting it up forever? Because there's nothing to stop them. I haven't really played a Tiny Epic for a long time. I played like the initial ones. I think I did Tiny Epic Quest on the channel. I liked that. And we played Tiny Epic Dinosaurs when a friend backed it. I didn't really enjoy that. I like the look of Tiny Epic Crimes. Not a kind of trying to ban myself from getting more things. But I like the kind of... Isn't it like cooperative deduction? Which I always like. I don't really know how it does it, though. When Distant Skies fulfills, you'll be crowdfunding free. I think I was for a while. I went on such a big kind of period of not backing anything at all, but I got sucked back in with a few things. I think Vikings and Pirates and Cthulhu is that's the one that's on now, is it? I mean, theme-wise, I like a lot of Cthulhu games. Hey, Greg, how's it going? But I think, generally, that is all of the stuff I had to say. Well, we're just having a chat in general, aren't we? But, yeah, that's all the stuff that happened in November, in terms of the channel, and in terms of us being about playing things. I think now... we might go to Aircon. I say that every year, though, and we haven't yet. I've never been to it. Like to. Really like to. It's just the time getting there, cost of staying there. I don't know if it will happen. It would be nice if it did. Other than that, it might be the Expo. That's the next thing that we go to. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen so far, we're going to, as well as my usual doing a top 10 of the year, we're going to do a... your choice, what you liked most. So there is a form up here. I'll put it... How do I get back in the chat? It should still be in my clipboard, shouldn't it? I'm trying. It's not making it a URL again. Does it have to have the HTTPs and stuff in it? But yeah, you can go to this link, and there's a form where you can just tell me your favourite game of the year. And they'll get compiled and stuff. Maybe we'll never mention this again if it was a bad idea. But I thought it would be cool to see what you guys liked so much. Yeah, you can submit a load of games if you want. You can say up to 10 things. I don't know. I'll give number 1 10 points, number 2 9 points, that kind of thing. That's the way you do it, isn't it? Unless there's a better way. Yeah, that's all you need to say is your favourite game. But you can put reasons if you want, and can say some reasons, and you can say 10 games if you want to. You can give your name, should you want to. You don't have to. Is Marty here? No, I heard rustling. He's not made it all the way over here yet. Yeah, maybe we'll do some kind of New Year's thing. Maybe we'll do it like the week after I do my thing. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how many responses we get. Maybe this will be the one and only time you ever hear about it. But yeah, if you would like to be involved in that, it will be a thing that we do. Yeah, the last couple of years we have just gone to the expo Friday and Sunday just because it is so busy on Saturday. But it is and it's a bit of a pain. We drive back and forth as well because the hotels are so expensive, so booked and stuff, and we're only about an hour and 20, something like that away. Not massively far. Parking is a fortune as well. Yeah, I do like having been, but it's such a crowded place now. Even the Sunday was the nicest. But yeah, even the Friday was so chock-a-block, which is cool that there's that many people wanting to go. But at the same time, there is not space in these halls to have that many people about. You're doing your top 10 of all, top 100 of all time. I haven't done that for a while now. I wonder how different. I think it would be quite different now. Of just not just that there's been. When did I do it? I did it when the Patreon first launched in, was it like summer 2019? We switched over to Patreon ages ago now. So yeah, maybe I should wait 5 years. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done that. I'd like to do it all again because, as I say, yeah, I think it will be very, very different. Even I think when you get to the top 10, I don't know how many things would be different. I think a couple would shift about a bit. Yeah, even the Friday seemed really busy. So I'm glad we weren't there on the Saturday, which, yeah, the numbers said were even busier. But yeah, it's lovely seeing all the stuff about and just being out and about in it. But having said that, if we go to Aircon as well, like GridCon is nice. It's nice being at the conventions that are just smaller and just about playing stuff, which is all Games Law is at GridCon, and you can buy stuff in that. We could just hang about if you wanted, but yeah, it's all about playing stuff. I've been using PubMeeple. If anyone wants a handy comparison tool to force you to make tough decisions constantly, the PubMeeple website, there's a great tool. Just you put in a list of games you want it to compare, and then it pits two games against each other and works out your list for you. I did that the other day for me top 10 of the year so far. But yeah, there's a couple of things that I missed out of it, and there's still these few things that I haven't played yet that I want to be on there. Well, yeah, I do want them to be on there. I'm not saying that they will be, but I'm going in with very high hopes for all of them. So we'll see how that goes. But I think for now, that is going to be it for this stream. As I say, there will be another stream. May just be like a kind of rough learning thing. Maybe we'll be on Patreon on Thursday or Friday. I will do the vote now. The game that will be played or learned will be the game that is leading in the vote at that point. So we'll look on the morning of the stream. Whatever's got the most votes so far will be the game that we get cracking on. Hopefully there'll be a playthrough of it going up next week, and we can get these things done, and it'll all be great. I remember the top 100 because I think to get it all worked out, I think that's the last time I got my collection right on Board Game Geek as well, which is years out of date now. But yeah, I think I've sorted out the collection data, and then you can import your collection into PubMeeple from Board Game Geek. So it's like 350 things or something. I just left everything on it, and I should have pruned it a bit before then because it took so long to do all of those comparisons. But hey, came up with a list in the end. I really liked doing that. But yeah, it did take a long time to do. But yeah, just aside from the video and whatever about it, it's always exciting to find out what your top 100 games are, because I don't really think about it in general. But yes, there will be videos coming up. This Cartographers is coming up on Friday. Explore It is concluding on Sunday. Tales from the Red Dragon Inn will be going up tomorrow and will conclude next week. Everything's a week early on Patreon. I'm talking about just what's going up on the channel in general. All of that is happening. There'll be some kind of live stream and more leading up to, Christmas, really. Leading up to Christmas Eve will be the top 10 of the year. I'm hoping. I haven't done it yet, but I've never been so ahead in working any games out before. Like, it's usually done the day that I film it, I think, in a panic. But yeah, I've got a bit ahead of it, and I've put some extra time in, some extra thinking about what's going to be in there, and I'm pretty pleased with the results. Okay, so I am going to go now. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon, you can do it on Ko-fi. I would really appreciate it, and it's how I can do more and more things. So waiting for a live stream of Mystic Veil Nemesis. Did I record it the first time? Yeah, it wasn't a live stream, was it? I'll put it in the, remind me for the January vote. I've fixed about this one being a small one, but it can go back in January, because hey, it's not leaving. You can't see because the background's keyed out, but yeah, Mystic Veil's still about, and I have only done that one so far as well. I really enjoyed the Nemesis mode. I'd like to do some more of it. Yes, thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you soon in pre-recorded form and towards the end of the weekend live form again. Bye, everyone. I'm going to make the vote post on Patreon now. Bye.